Source of all, we gather today in celebration and pride as we honor the journey of these young men who have reached the summit of scouting, the rank of Eagle Scout. We give thanks for the strength, the perseverance, the courage that have guided them through each challenge, for the wisdom they have gained through service, leadership, and learning. Bless this ceremony with a spirit of reflection and joy. May it remind us of all the values that Scouting upholds: trustworthiness, loyalty, helpfulness, and kindness that we'll learn about today. May these ideals not only be spoken today, but lived each and every day. We thank the family, the leaders, the mentors, the friends who have supported these journeys for their love, encouragement, and example. May their efforts be blessed, and may their investment in character and citizenship yield a legacy that inspires future generations. As we celebrate this beautiful and sacred milestone, may these Eagle Scouts continue to rise to meet life's challenges with honor and humility. May they always seek truth, serve others, and walk the path of integrity. Together we can say, Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Our ceremony is composed of 5 primary components: the journey from Scout to Eagle Scout, recognition of those that have helped our Scout along their way, the presentation of the medals, a speech from our new Eagles, and a closing ceremony. So let's get this journey started together. Scouting has 3 aims: 1, moral strength and character; 2, participating citizenship; and 3, development of physical, mental, and emotional fitness. These values, together with the skills that are learned, will live on in our Scouts as they become adults and take their place as citizens in our community. I call on the Troop 1806 Senior Patrol Leader Lillian Eoff and the other person who is going to be doing who is that? You can wave, say hi. Come on up. For the people doing the candlelighting ceremony, each flame represents a core value of Scouting. Got it?
The top 3 candles represent the 3 parts of the Scout Oath. Their honor to do their best to duty, first to duty to God and their country, second, to help other people at all times, and third, to themselves by keeping themselves physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You can see how the light from the spirit of Scouting is new beginning to grow and become brighter. There are 12 points of the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout tells the truth. They keep their promises. Honesty is a part of their code of conduct. People can always depend on them. A Scout is loyal. A Scout is true to their family, friends, Scout leaders, school, nation, and world community. A Scout is helpful. A Scout is concerned about other people. They willingly volunteer to help others without expecting payment or reward. A Scout is friendly. A Scout is a friend to all. They are sibling to other Scouts. They seek to understand others. They respect those with ideas and customs that are different from their own. A Scout is courteous. A Scout is polite to everyone, regardless of age or position. They know that good manners make it easier for people to get along together. A Scout is kind. A Scout understands that there is strength to being gentle. They treat others as they want to be treated. They do not harm or kill anything without reason. A Scout is obedient. A Scout follows the rules of their family, school, and troop. They obey the laws of their community and country. If they think those rules and laws are unfair, they try to have them changed in an orderly manner, rather than disobey them. A Scout is cheerful. A Scout looks for the bright side of life. They cheerfully do tasks that come their way. They try to make others happy. A Scout is thrifty. A Scout works to pay their way and to help others. They save for the future. They protect and conserve natural resources. They carefully use time and property. A Scout is brave. A Scout can face danger even if they are afraid. They have the courage to stand for what they think is right, even if others laugh at or threaten them. A Scout is clean. A Scout keeps their body and mind fit and clean. They go around with those who believe in living by these same ideals. They help keep their home and community clean. Scout is reverent. A scout is reverent towards God. They're faithful in their religious duties. They respect the beliefs of others. As you can see, the spirit of scouting has grown and has brightened our world.
Thank you, Lillian and Maya. The Eagle was created in 1912 to acknowledge these young men and now women who rise to the very top level of accomplishment in scouting. Through perseverance and determination, Aaron Lewis, Eli Grosser, and Ian Stewart now join the more than 20,000 other Sam Houston Area Council scouts who have achieved scouting's highest reward, and the 145 scouts who have earned the Eagle rank in our troops. The path to Eagle is a physical and spiritual journey, which represented by the ranks each scout has earned. Our scouts will now describe this journey. All right, so I need all my Path to Eagle scouts to line up and get ready to go. All right, our Path to Eagle Scout starts with the scout rank. So if I could have my scout rank scout come on up.
I am the Scout. My badge represents the International Brotherhood of Scouting, which I have joined.
Thank you. Tenderfoot.
I am the Tenderfoot. My 3 points stand for the 3 points of the Scout's promise. You find me on the Mariner's compass, forever pointing the way to the North Star and a safe journey in life. On my face, 2 stars representing truth and knowledge, a shield which is the emblem of a nation molded together in justice, and the eagle to guard the freedom of my land.
I am the second class. The ends of my scroll are turned up in the willing smile of the scout. On my face is our motto, be prepared. And suspended from me is the knot, tied there to remind you of the slogan of Scouting America, do a good turn daily.
I am the first class. I was a scout, and I laid my course by the stars of truth and knowledge, and girded myself with the righteousness of justice and freedom. I added a smile that I might be a friend to all, and bound myself together with the knot of duty to others.
I am the star. Now that I can stand alone, I have earned the right to improvement on my own. To me goes the honor of choosing my field. Before me lies the horizon of endless opportunity.
I am the life. I have shown the world that scouting is in my heart. I have mastered knowledge of subjects that will benefit my country and fellow citizens. I am ready to reach for my wings to fly.
I am the eagle. It has been a long, hard, but wonderful road. I have mastered my goal. With deep humility, I now stand as a representative of the best that scouting can accomplish in the lives of youth. May I now pass on to younger scouts a portion of my knowledge.
Thank you, Scouts. As you can see, being an Eagle Scout is something very special. Our new Eagle Scouts have reached the pinnacle of achievement in scouting. They are among the very small percentage, only 4% nationally, of all Scouts who ever complete the journey. There are no former Eagle Scouts. Once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. Will all the Eagle Scouts here today please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. If there are any parents of a scout or a concerned adult who wants to enrich the lives of boys and girls, make a difference in the kind of adult they want to become, contribute to our community, I encourage you to become involved and support scouting. Scouting starts at kindergarten now, and I hear that our PAC's leadership, Brian Block, is amazing, and the troop and the scoutmasters here in the troop are also pretty good. Scouters in district, council, and national levels all play a vital role in the foundation of our scout program, and it is very important to recognize the work that they do. Will all Scouters at the district, council, and national levels please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Troop 806 and 1806 is sponsored by the Brotherhood of Congregation Beth Israel. We would like to send our thanks to Beth Israel for their continued support over 40 years. We must also thank the members and leadership of Congregation Beth Shalom for allowing us to use this wonderful facility today for our Eagle Court of Honor. If there are any members from the Beth Israel Brotherhood or Beth Shalom leadership here today, please stand so that you can show our appreciation. No one has greater pride today than the loving parents of our Eagle Scouts. Behind every scouting success, there are parents or family members nudging, pushing, encouraging their children through the difficult process of attaining the Eagle rank. Their sacrifice does not go unnoticed. We therefore thank and congratulate our new Eagle Scout parents, Margaret Jelenic Lewis, David Lewis, Kate Birnbaum, Michael Grosser, Anne Marie Stewart, and Bill Stewart. Your moment of joy when you get to pin the Eagle badge on your child is almost here, but for now, stand and be recognized. Troop 806 and 1806 is fortunate to have active troop committee and assistant scoutmaster staff. These volunteers work very hard in several capacities in support of the troop and our scouts. Will all members of the troop committee and assistant scoutmaster staff please rise and be recognized? We could not do this without you. There are a few members of our team that focus on the last step from life to Eagle Scout that deserve recognition for this day. In particular, we would like to recognize our troop advancement chairperson, Margaret Jelenic Lewis. Let's give her a round of applause. Extraordinary achievement is attributed to the leadership, dedication, and service of the individuals who have led our scout troops since their inception. The cherished scoutmasters of Troop 806 and 1806 include our current scoutmasters, Brian Eoff and David Lewis, and past scoutmasters Margaret Jelenic Lewis, Chris Ainsworth, Stephen Plum, Jeremy Penner, and it all started with Steve Shapiro, who recently passed away. I'd like to take a moment to call up Nelson Block to the bema to say a few words about our founding scoutmaster, Steve Shapiro.
As Eric mentioned, the founder of Troop 806 and co-founder of Cub Pack 806, one of Houston's longest-serving scoutmasters, and my dear friend Steve Shapiro, passed away recently on April 23rd after suffering a heart attack at the age of 71. Steve grew up in Buffalo, where he was active in Scouts and Explorers as a youth. He attended college at Colgate University, graduating in 1975 with a degree in geology. He taught middle school and high school at the Alexander Smith Academy and in Clear Lake until accepting a job as a district executive with the Bay Area Council, Boy Scouts of America, then, now Scouting America, in Galveston. In 1980, he began a 33-year career with ExxonMobil, mapping all of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states. Steve began working with local scouts in Troop 52 at the Evelyn Rubenstein Jewish Community Center in 1978. In 1980, after some minor disagreements with the JCC and some of their policies, he founded Troop 806, chartered to the Brotherhood of Temple Beth Israel, in an event we call in troop history the Crossing of the Bayou. Steve served as Scoutmaster for 31 years. During this time, we had approximately 500 boys, and it was all boys then, through scouting. Of those, 138 reached Eagle rank. In those 31 years, he attended every meeting, all but 3 campouts, one of which he didn't attend because his mom passed away, and the other 2 were because he had to be out of town for work. Yearly summer camps, winter camps, a national jamboree, served as the lead advisor for a Philmont Scout Ranch trek, and many other trainings and events. He had 1,000 nights of camping in his scouting career. He was the Sam Houston Area Council's winter camp director for 10 years and directed 14 kinusim, the retreats of Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Scouting America Scouts for the Houston Jewish Committee on Scouting. In 1986, he co-founded Cub Pack 806 and served as Cub Master for 8 or 10 years during the 2000s. Steve's commitment to excellence inspired others in Scouting, which resulted in a large staff of trained assistants and committee members, most of whom are still serving today, dozens of junior leaders sent to National Youth Leader Training, the famous NYLT, and some to National Youth Leader Training at Philmont, and scores of Scouts attending national and world jamborees and Scouting high adventure bases, both at Philmont and Sea Base in Florida. His steady leadership helped many boys through difficulties and inspired scores of parents to commit to Scouting. He helped Scouts face bullying at school, other problems with their friends, difficulties with parents, and the loss of loved ones. He understood children's learning differences and emotional issues from his years of teaching. Under his leadership, the troop developed a reputation as a place for any youth who wanted to be a Scout without regard to special physical, intellectual, or emotional needs. We took them all. He developed fundraising to make the troop self-sufficient, including the ability to cover the expenses for any Scout who needed assistance, and oversaw the group of the troop's famous Chicken Day, which is now a Houston Jewish community institution. Though not observant himself, he supported Scouts who wanted to keep kashrut, have an eruv on Shabbat, and keep the other elements of Shabbat. He shared his personal interests in a way that encouraged Scouts to try new things. He introduced them to music by Chicago, humor by Firesign Theater. Many of the boys knew the entirety of Nick Danger, Third Eye, by heart, and repeat it at any given moment. How to Care for Turtles, and Star Trek. Steve's scouting work was recognized with a Silver Beaver Award, the National Jewish Committee on Scouting's Shofar Award, and the Order of the Arrow Vigil Honor, among many others. After retiring from Scouting in 2011 and ExxonMobil in 2014, he worked part-time as a substitute teacher at Schlenker School, where the elementary school-aged children just loved him. He became active with other Trekkies in Starfleet, the International Star Trek Fan Association, enjoying their trips, cruises, and service projects. He once showed up to a Scout event where he had posted on Facebook, "Everybody should wear uniform, I'll be wearing mine," and he wore not his Scout uniform, but his Starfleet uniform. A memorial service for Steve will take place on Sunday, June 8th, 2025, at Congregation Beth Israel at 1 p.m. We will all miss Steve greatly.
Thank you, Nelson, for those kind words, and thank you all the Scoutmasters, old and new, for setting these troops on a firm foundation for success. It's time to present our new Eagle Scouts with the medal that they have earned. Stephen Plum, the current chair of the Apollo District Committee and chair of the Houston Jewish Committee on Scouting, will have the honor of presenting the Eagle Awards. All right, so here's the game plan, all right? In a few moments, we're gonna have Aaron Lewis, Eli Grosser, Ian Stewart are gonna get escorted down the aisle, the center of the sanctuary. Stephen Plum is gonna award the Eagle Awards. There's also a special mom and dad pin and neckerchiefs. I'm gonna invite the parents to come up here and meet their kids at the bima as they're walking down, so that you have the joy of pinning the badge on them or their uniform. After the pins have been pinned, the neckerchiefs are placed, we're gonna do a group photo. Parents will take their seats. Nelson is gonna give the Eagle charge. Each Scout's gonna be introduced. Then they're gonna give their own speech, followed by our guest speech. And then the amazing MC, me, will say a few words to quickly wrap everything up. Y'all got that? All right, let's get things started. So will sibling Alex Lewis please escort Aaron Lewis to the bima? You're gonna have to do some walking first, yeah. We'll get this sorted. You guys go to the back, and then we'll let the people escort you all the way up the center. All right. Let's try this again. Alex Lewis, please escort Aaron Lewis up to the bema. His parents, David and Margaret, please come on up here to the bema. Will former Scoutmaster Jeremy Penner please escort Eli Grosser to the bema? Oh. Excellent. Aaron Lewis, please escort Eli Grosser to the bema. Parents Kate and Michael, come on up. And will brother Daniel Stewart please escort Ian Stewart to the bema? And parents Anne Marie and Bill Stewart, come on up. All right, we're all here. They're all yours. They're all mine. They're all yours. So the recommendation is to give the award to the scout, and they give it to their parents to put on.
Where are this? Oh, here we go.
Let's, Aaron, pleasure. Present you with the accoutrements. So we have a hat, a medal, and then pins that you give out. You also have two extra. There's another pin here. We've got extra pockets to hold everything, and you can leave things up at the bema as well. All right, so to recap, the pins are getting pinned on the scout, and then the scouts are putting pins on the parents, and parents are also putting on neckerchiefs on the scout. That's a lot to do, but I have confidence in all of y'all. pockets are extra thick. They got an extra set of fabric. If you just pin it through one. There's no merit badges for pinning, so maybe we gotta work on a pinning merit badge.
There should be a merit badge for sewing.
There should be a merit badge for sewing.
Actually, it should be for the scout rank required.
Neckerchief pins. We've got a couple more pins. We're gonna do a photo, so don't go too far. Thinking the photo might be best down here on the ground. You did it right, because they're copying you now.
Yeah. Well, no one will know, like, each day. He picks that one.
All right, as you guys finish, let's go ahead and have the Eagle Scouts here in the front, taking the parents behind them. Photo. Somebody has a camera out. All right, parents, you can have a seat. Scouts, you can also have a seat, but your seats are up here. Thank you, Mr. Plum. Let's just give him another round of applause because it's in the script. All right, I'd like to call upon Nelson Block to give us the Eagle Scout charge, describing the meaning, responsibilities, and goals for our Eagle Scouts.
Thank you. I'm going to direct my attention sort of to our three new Eagles, not meaning to ignore everybody in the audience. I have the honor to give you the Eagle Scout charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest award in scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been judged by Scouting America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. Each of you is a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking, As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your fellow Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend for the most part on the quality of her citizens. Our country has had a great past. You can help make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the high level of service to God and to your fellow man. So live and serve that those who know you will be inspired to finer living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And whatever others may do, you will leave behind you a record of which every other Scout may be justly proud. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principles of Scouting. But one more thing is important: your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts. You become an example in your community. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would reflect not only on you, but on your fellow Eagles and all of Scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but also ours. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Black. It's time to introduce our new Eagle Scouts and hear their remarks. I'd like to call on Jay Hamburger to the stage to introduce Aaron Lewis.
I'm not sure if I deserve applause before I speak, but I accept. I've been focusing a lot, sitting in this room, on legacy. And I'm a former Scout, so I look at myself and the thread that passes through me to almost everybody in this room, and then on to the next generation. I had the pleasure of meeting Aaron when his family came to pour their drop into my ocean of feeding and serving the homeless, which I've done for 35 years. And a product of that, and that legacy is my being here and the honor that I feel of introducing Aaron to you. I have some things to regale you with, the long list of accomplishments that he has, but I focus mostly on the heart of the matter. And I saw his heart when he helped me cook, prepare, and serve the less fortunate. As far as legacy, I learned much of what I know about community service from Scouting and from that tradition. And so there's a very powerful thread that's in this room, that's in our country. And Aaron is exemplative of the best of it. And then later on, as you probably know, at his congregation and his troop, barbecue chickens, and I'm the beneficiary of many of those for my homeless friends who are, to say the least, they're overjoyed to receive them. And the intention that he has contributed to the sustenance, hopefully emotional sustenance as well, to the homeless is something that's very sweet and powerful to me, because the community that I serve is very important to me. As far as some wonderful things, in fact, I understand that Aaron insisted on going on his first camping trip before he was 1 year old. How precocious. And let's see, what else? This wonderful list of things. He started as a wolf in Cub Scouts in Aberdeen, Scotland, where his mom was Cub Master and his older brother was the den chief. Then, the story goes, as he was watching his oldest sibling receive his eagle, he turned to the person next to him and said, "I'm going to be an Eagle Scout too someday." So, fulfillment. After 2 years, his family moved to Copenhagen, Denmark, and continued scouting there. And as part of the Transatlantic Council, he got to camp at Normandy Beach and participate in a memorial service to honor fallen soldiers. I mean, how sweet is that? The year that they moved back to Houston, he earned his Arrow of Light with Pack 806. He was among the first scouts in Houston to earn the Citizenship in Society Merit Badge, one of the newest merit badges focusing on diversity and inclusion. He's attended both summer camp and winter camp, and as his fellow Eagle Scouts have rotated between leadership positions as patrol leader, troop guide, assistant senior patrol leader, and senior patrol leader. He'll be backpacking at my alma mater, at Philmont, where I had wonderful experiences this summer. Outside of scouting, Aaron, he's a graduate of HSPVA. He's played cello since he was 5 years old, which was his focus at HSPVA. He also dabbles in upright bass, electric bass, duduk, accordion, viola da gamba, drums, crumb horn, and any other instrument he can get his hands on, from conch shells to banjos. He attended Kehila High, Houston's community Hebrew high school, and he'll attend Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin in the fall. He intends to major in linguistics and anthropology, but he'll continue to play music and be involved in performance there. I feel like I've multiplied myself by being part of Aaron's life, and I'm honored. I don't want to set up any unrealistic expectations, but I think he's going to do great things in the world. He's already done them, and he has the gene, the community service gene, so I think he's well equipped.
Hi, everyone. At the risk of repeating some of what Jay said, I want to tell you a little bit about my scouting journey. My first scout camp out was in diapers. Technically, I wasn't in Scouts yet. I would have to wait a few more years to officially join. But my scouting journey definitely started at a young age. I finally joined Cub Scouts as a wolf when we moved to Scotland. My mother said that she wouldn't be a den leader, so of course she became Cub Master, and my father took over as Scoutmaster from another expat who was on his way out. Unsurprisingly, I had an amazing time as a Cub Scout in Scotland. One of my favorite memories was hiking Ben Nevis, the tallest mountain, or Munro, in Scotland. It was technically an activity for the Boy Scouts, but both my older sibling Alex and I tagged along. I was entirely convinced that I was the youngest kid to have ever climbed Ben Nevis. I definitely wasn't, but no one disabused me of that notion, so I was extremely proud of my achievement. It was in that Scottish troop that my oldest sibling Mel earned their eagle, and all of the Eagle Scouts wore kilts to the ceremony, of which I must admit I'm rather jealous. Later, in Copenhagen, I continued my journey as a Cub Scout, and the year that I returned to Houston, I earned my Arrow of Light and crossed over into Troop 806. Nathan and Jacob Plum both completed my crossover, and the whole family welcomed me into the troop. The Plums would continue to be vital leaders in my scouting journey. They were far from the only leaders who helped me along my path to Eagle, though. Mr. Ainsworth took over as Scoutmaster in 2019. His approach to leadership, which blended scout skills and engaging activities, kept me interested in scouting, even during the pandemic. I remember one camp out where we planned an Iron Chef-style cooking competition, and the surprise ingredients that he selected included cactus pads and elephant garlic. You'd think that more garlic per clove would be better, but I was betrayed by elephant garlic. It was not very good. I also couldn't have made it to this point without Mr. Penner, who was constantly on top of my advancement, even in a couple cases when I didn't know about it. And finally, Mr. Malloy, who was always friendly and happy to listen and share wisdom through stories of scouts he had mentored in the past, including Mel. During the pandemic, my other sibling, Alex, earned their Eagle as part of the inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts. They still occasionally make fun of me because I joined scouting earlier than they did, but they earned their Eagle before I did. My siblings left me little choice but to earn Eagle, lest I bring dishonor to myself and my family, but they weren't the only source of motivation for that lofty goal. My Papa Bill earned his Eagle Scout in the 1950s. I still use the match canister and mess kit he gave me from way back then. He showed me a shoebox filled with all of his badges from when he was a scout and told me the amazing time he had at Philmont, motivating me even more to earn Eagle and to go to Philmont this summer. Emerging from the pandemic, Eli and I were really the most senior scouts left in the troop, so we had to learn to take over from Andrew Zlotnick and put all of our leadership skills to use while both troops were still trying to rebuild. For the past few years, we've been switching off who's in which leadership role as we train the next generation of scouts, with Ian jumping in the rotation too. Taking on so much responsibility as a young leader was difficult, but it led me to one of the most valuable things that I've learned from scouting: the importance of inclusion. I was part of Shaq's first Citizenship and Society Merit Badge class. I really enjoyed it, and I think it struck an important part of scouting that isn't explicitly outlined in the Scout Oath and Law. In his 1920 book, Aids to Scoutmastership, Lord Baden-Powell emphasized how important it is to include kids with disabilities in scouting. It might require more work and more personal attention from leaders, but these scouts are capable of so much more than people often expect of them, and scouting can help them prove it to themselves and others. The support structure that scouting provides at the troop level and the worldwide organization can have an even larger positive impact on scouts with disabilities than on other scouts. It's for this reason that I am dedicated to inclusion within scouts, and why I chose the Eagle Scout Service project that I did. I built raised bed planters for Noah's House, a group home for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I also planted a combination of ornamental and functional plants in them, helping provide an engaging activity for residents in their upkeep. This also made them both aesthetically pleasing and helped to give residents a sense of purpose. Scouts has also, perhaps unsurprisingly, influenced what I want to do in my future career. Ultimately, I want to be in a position to help other people, to teach other people, either as a professor or as a guide in some other way. Scouts has taught me that a person doesn't need to be an expert to pass on valuable knowledge, but it's also taught me how to learn from knowledgeable experts, use their guidance, and pass that knowledge on. Several of my teachers have been amused when they teach me something one day and the next day I'm teaching someone else the same thing. My journey to Eagle has shown me that if I can live my life continually lifting other people up and sharing knowledge, I would be satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. I'd like to call on Grandfather Robert Birnbaum to introduce Eli Grosser.
It's an honor to be before you and in front of three wonderfully accomplished young men. I was a scout myself, and this is the first court of honor I've been to in 60 plus years. It's a long time in coming. I was told I had 1 minute, and that's it. So it's been wonderful. But now I'm going to expand on that. If you notice, On the Eagle Scout pin, there are only 2 words: be prepared. Baden-Powell, who was the Scout founder, said you were always in a state of readiness, in mind and body, to do your duty. And when the need arises, you must act. Eli is in the Bel Air High School choir. And recently, they were performing a recital in a church. A male soloist was ready to perform, but he had a mishap. His shoes had come apart, and he was embarrassed, and Eli saw this, and he took off his own shoes, handed them to the soloist, who was then able to go on with his performance. It's a simple act, but I think it shows you the character of this young man. Excuse me for being so emotional, but on an earlier occasion, and at our own 50th wedding anniversary, I was called on at that luncheon to speak. And at that moment, Eli got up from his chair. He was 5 years old, and he walked over and held my hand, gave me the support I needed at that emotional time. I wish he'd come over now and give me his hand. But I'll never forget that tender moment. He has always been ready to help those in need without being asked. That is a wonderful Eagle Scout quality. So congratulations, both to Eli and these other 2 fine young men who have earned this wonderful achievement. We are so proud of you and all of you. Thank you.
Hi. First, I want to thank everyone for taking their time out of their day to come to this Eagle ceremony, and I am so honored to receive the rank of Eagle. I first joined Scouts in the 1st grade, and ever since then, Scouts has given me so many skills and experiences that I consider invaluable. I obviously learned how to make fires, set up tents, use a pocket knife, and other Scout stuff. However, the lessons that Scout has taught me goes beyond what is on a page in a Scout book. The true lessons in Scouting are what you carry in your everyday life. The greatest lesson that Scouts has taught me is how to be a mature leader. I've learned that leadership isn't about giving orders. It's about listening, supporting others, and setting an example through your own actions. I've learned that to be an effective leader, you must listen to a Scout and understand how they interpret orders. Whether I was guiding a younger Scout through their first campout or organizing my own Eagle project, I came to understand that real leadership means being responsible, patient, and dependable. These moments taught me how to step up when it matters most, and they've helped me shape the person I am today. I know these leadership skills will stay with me far beyond Scouts, and I'm grateful for every experience that Scouts has provided me. Scouting has also taught me the value of perseverance and commitment. There were times along the path of Eagle that I felt were challenging. Whether it was learning difficult merit badges, or managing school and Scout responsibilities, or facing setbacks during leadership. But through it all, I learned that perseverance means pushing forward always, and commitment. Every challenge was an opportunity to grow, and every success reminded me why I started the journey in the first place. These qualities I developed through Scouting will guide me when I'm older, and I'm grateful for being in the position where I am able to have these valuable learning experiences. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who has supported me on my journey. Thank you to my family, Scoutmasters, Scout leaders, and fellow Scouts for your guidance, encouragement, and constantly nudging me in the right direction. Each of y'all has played a part in helping me reach this important milestone, and I'm truly grateful that y'all have helped me grow into the person I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli. I'd like to call on Megan Fitzgerald to introduce Ian Stewart.
Hello, everyone. I'm Megan, a good friend of Ian and his family. We met in our neighborhood, and I've known Ian since he was born. My son Nate was born 6 months before Ian, and they have been very close friends their whole lives. They have been friends with Eli a long time too. They met back in 6th grade and have all been in school together since then. The rank of Eagle Scout is an amazing achievement. It takes commitment, years of hard work, and perseverance. As you probably know, only about 4% of Boy Scouts achieve this rank. I'm not surprised that Ian has earned it. When he sets his mind to something, he makes it happen. Ian's favorite merit badge earned was music. Ian is an accomplished flutist and was first chair for the Bel Air Mighty Cardinal Marching Band this year. Ian's least favorite merit badge was first aid. I looked up the 15 steps for this one, and it is comprehensive, including CPR and how to use an automated external defibrillator machine. Ian's achievements don't come without struggle. He worked hard and achieved that merit badge. I think the best part about Scouts in general are the camping trips. Ian's favorite camping trip was, and I quote, "the one where there were very few people and the adults cooked for everyone." Scouting can be hard work, so I guess Ian was happy to have a break. Least favorite camping trip? The first summer camp on Catalina Island. Ian was new to the troop and wasn't too sure about Scouts in general. He got through this difficult time, stuck with it, and is here today because of that perseverance. I know he couldn't have done all of this alone. Ian is lucky to have the support of his mom and dad. Dad is assistant scoutmaster for the troop, and older brother and sister. I think this support contributes greatly to Ian's success and gives him the confidence to go for big goals. What has Ian learned through his years as a Boy Scout? What is the purpose of all of this? He told me he's learned prioritization, time management, and communication skills. Those are skills that will serve him well in whatever he pursues after school. Whatever he sets his mind to, I bet he will make it happen. Congratulations to you, Ian, on becoming an Eagle Scout. We are so proud of you.
First and foremost, I would like to thank my parents. They've provided me with endless support, occasional nagging, which has pushed me to reach this achievement. They're always there to help me with merit badges, packing, and reminders, keeping me on track and on schedule. I could not have reached Eagle without your help, so thank you. Next, I would like to thank Eli and Aaron. You two were the first to make me feel welcome in Troop 806. Y'all made Scouts something to look forward to. Scouts went from a chore to something I wanted to do. Y'all also served to inspire and push me to keep working. Thank you. I'd now like to thank Dr. Lewis and Dr. Margaret. Without y'all's help, I could not have done this. Dr. Lewis was so helpful with teaching me leadership and other scout skills as a scoutmaster. Dr. Margaret helped me stay on top of everything with meetings, merit badges, other time requirements. She helped me plan everything. Thank you two so much. I'd also like to thank all the merit badge counselors who helped me as I got ever closer to my age requirement. Finally, I would like to thank everyone else in Troops 806 and 1806. Y'all made scouting so much fun. Thank you. Scouting has honestly been one of the biggest factors in my development as a youth. The extra push to get out there and meet new people helped me immensely. I can easily say that scouting has made me the person I am today. My favorite adventure in scouting would probably be going to the National Jamboree in the summer of 2023. I went with Eli and the rest of the SHAC contingents. There were over 15,000 scouts from across the country. That number alone was insane to me. It was crazy that so many people from a single organization all across the country were in one place. I was fascinated seeing how everyone was so different, but all had these similarities. They were all called Scouts. This realization amazed me. It really brought to my mind how encompassing scouting is. And the fact that all these people adhered to the Scout Oath and Law, despite all their cultural differences, was astounding to me. It was at this jamboree that I really began to see what scouting seeks to teach. While scouting might include a lot of outdoor skills and camping, scouting truly seeks to help people become better citizens of the world. Scouting has no demands for a specific type of person, only a person who is willing to learn. Reflecting on my journey from Scout to Eagle, I realized it wasn't about earning merit badges or checking off requirements. It was about growth. It was about learning to persevere even when it got difficult. It was about pushing even when I was tired. In scouting, I may have learned how to tie knots, set up a tent, pack a backpack. I've also learned how to set up a meeting, work as a team, and articulate my thoughts well. I've learned how to better manage time and be an effective leader. These lessons will stick with me regardless of whether I'm wearing a Scout uniform or not. Scouting has not only taught me how to survive in the wilderness, but how to thrive in life. Earning the rank of Eagle is the final rank a youth can get in scouting. It might seem like the end of a journey, but it is truly only the beginning of a lifetime of Scout spirit, of a lifetime of service, and a lifetime of determination. The Scout Oath and Law have instilled the values of scouting within me. It is my responsibility as an Eagle to continue to adhere to these values. The rank of Eagle Scout is not just a title. It is a standard by which we should all hold ourselves to. In closing, I would like to once again thank my family, the adults in scouting, and anyone else who has provided me with support or companionship on this journey. It means the world to me that y'all were there for me as I work towards this goal. You have shaped me into the person that I am today, and I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Now that we've heard from each of our new Scouts, our new Eagle Scouts, we have a special guest speaker this afternoon. I'm going to call up Margaret Lewis to introduce our guest speaker.
I'm Margaret Jelinek Lewis, and I'm the Advancement Chairperson for Troops 806 and 1806, and I have the honor of introducing our guest speaker. When approached about being the beneficiary of Ian Stewart's Eagle Scout project, Dr. Ann Jeanette agreed without hesitation. She has a passion for empowering young people as they build confidence and leadership skills through service, especially when their service is focused on creating a more inclusive community. Dr. Jeanette is an advocate for neurodivergent individuals, serving as the director of the Life Path program at Lone Star College, Tomball, since 2015. The primary purpose of this program is to equip neurodivergent students with the essential life skills needed for social and academic success, independence, and career readiness so that they can participate in and contribute to community in a way that is meaningful and reflects their value. Dr. Jeanette's personal experience as a mother of 5, including 3 children with special needs, profoundly shape her professional perspective and drive her commitment to creative, inclusive, and supporting learning environments. Much of the success of both she and the Life Path program have experienced is the result of her focus on service. Life Path students are required to engage in a certain number of service learning hours per semester. She also facilitates service learning opportunities for students who are not in her program but are interested in spending time and better understanding the world of neurodiversity. Please welcome Dr. Ann Jeanette to the podium.
Wow, thank you very much. I'm so appreciative to Margaret for even thinking about inviting me to speak here. And I have these thoughts in my head before I got here. And I think I'm going to have to just move them all to the side because I was so touched by what a beautiful event this is. And I was thinking about how we really work to develop independence with the students in Life Path. And a lot of times, I'll get calls from people around the country saying, you know, we'd like to replicate your program. Can we get a list of your courses and what your student learning outcomes are? And I say, yeah, of course you can get that. It's kind of public information. Be happy to give that to you, but that's not really what we do. Really, it's a little bit like, I often explain it like, it's like playing Candyland. You ever played that? Candyland with your kids? It's a little bit like playing Candyland. Like, the point isn't really to get to the end, not really. I mean, it's great to win. But when you play Candyland with your children, your grandchildren, or nieces or nephews, you're really teaching them how to be patient, to wait their turn. They're learning how to maybe count. They're learning some hard skills. They count, they do their colors, but they're learning how to lose, how to graciously allow a younger sibling to win when that's the time. And then how to say it's not time for the younger sibling to always win. You know, they have to learn that sometimes it is what it is, and you don't always. And so there's so many soft skills that we learn, and that's really what the point of our program is. We actually only started service learning a couple of years ago, and this will be our 11th year in the fall. And part of why we wanted to start service learning specifically is that we were finding that what we did worked really well. Our students were they were forming friendships with each other. Most of our students are on the autism spectrum. We have a lot of students that have a lot of ADHD characteristics, but to the point that it impacts their, sometimes their classroom success, their social success. And so it's exciting to see these friendships form and these little groups of Life Path students walking around campus. But I was concerned, and we were concerned, that they weren't connecting so much with the other students on campus. And a lot of our students talked about feeling like the world was divided into us's and them's, and that they were somehow on the other side of it. They were the them's. And so we felt like service learning was a way that we could allow our students to connect with the other students on campus, and for the other students to see how amazing and how capable our students are. And that's been the beauty of service learning, and directly ties to Ian's Eagle Scout project, which I greatly appreciate, Ian. I think I only got to meet him briefly, so I'm very proud of your work and glad that you finished and glad that you chose our program. One of the things that moving the greenhouse from this place on campus where nobody saw it to where it is now is that it's very visible. And so within just a few weeks of it was spring break-ish, right? That's when? Within a few weeks of coming back to campus, I started getting these phone calls. And the phone calls and emails from students and other faculty and staff on campus wanting to know how they can get involved. And I was like, this is exciting. This is just what we want. This is the change that something as simple as moving a greenhouse might seem like it's just moving a greenhouse. It's back to that Candyland example. It isn't just moving a greenhouse. It's a chance for diverse groups of people to come together and work side by side doing something that they loved doing, maybe with their own grandparents or with their parents or with an auntie or somebody else that they almost always tell us about these connections to family that they loved, and they get to learn how to garden for themselves now, and they love that. It also, a real tangible outcome of having that greenhouse moved is that we have a student in my program that just recently started using a wheelchair. She's in her mid-20s, and we all thought it was going to be a temporary situation. It's looking more and more like it isn't, and that she'll be in a wheelchair. And so she's just adjusting to this new idea that her life is going to be in a wheelchair. And she saw the greenhouse, and she was very excited. And she said, have you thought about accessibility inside of the greenhouse? What are you thinking about tables and about planters? And I know that Erin, you did planters, correct? That people can reach. So she was very worried about these subjects already, and I was able to sit her down and say, adjusting to a change that you're not expecting is hard for any of us. As a lot of us, as we grow older, we have to adjust to knees that don't work as well as they used to, and we have to stop the sports we used to play, or, there's all kinds of adjustments to make. But the great thing is you get to use your voice and advocate for what you need, and that's a great skill. And as she's learning to advocate for what she might need to get around in the garden and in the greenhouse, ideas are coming out in her about other things that other people might need. And I really think that's the whole point. The point of the Eagle Scout projects, the things that I heard the young men speaking about knowing how to camp and to survive in the wilderness, but that wasn't really the point of the Scouts. And I'm glad that at such a young age, they can see that. They're so wise. I know it takes a family, it takes a community to help these young men and young women become Eagle Scouts. And I'm just so grateful for you guys for allowing me to witness, to be part, to be a recipient. And I want you to know that the service that you've done for Lone Star College Tomball will reach many, many people beyond our immediate group. So thank you again. Thank you for having me.
I really enjoyed hearing that, so thank you for coming today. Alrighty, so we are here in the home stretch. We've got an album, so it's customary in our troop to present new Eagle Scouts with a personalized album commemorating this special achievement. It contains letters from U.S. state and local representatives, prominent people throughout the community and nationally and locally. This album is in work for all three of you, so I look forward to hearing and learning more about it as they come together. It doesn't matter whose name is in there or which office or who's in office at that point in time. It's really, really cool to get, official gold leaf paper with your name on it and then mentioning you. We also have a plaque, which I don't think I have here today, but it has a list of all of our Scouts' names on it. So the three of your names will get added to that plaque to be put on display at Beth Israel. Upon conclusion of our ceremony, the family of our new Eagle Scouts invite everyone to join for cake and punch, the kind you drink. For our closing benediction, I'm going to call up Rabbi Teller to the bema for our benediction. Thank you.
Today we have celebrated a beautiful achievement, but it's also a journey that we're celebrating, one marked by perseverance and growth and service. We honor these young people who have chosen the more difficult path, the higher trail, and reached its summit with humility and with strength. May these Eagle Scouts always carry forward the values that have guided them to this moment, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and compassion. May their actions continue to reflect the Scout oath and law, not just when they're in their uniforms, but in every area of life. To their family, mentors, and fellow Scouts, we offer gratitude for the encouragement, wisdom, and support you've given along the way. Your influence is woven into this accomplishment and will echo in the steps that they take from here. As we leave this place, may each of us be reminded of our own ability to make a difference in other people's lives, to serve, to lead, to live with purpose. We carry with us the inspiration of this day and recommit ourselves to the ideals that we've learned about and discussed today. May the road ahead rise to meet these new eagles, and may their eagles' wings never tire. Together we can say, Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm going to call up the Senior Patrol Leader, Lillian Eoff, to lead us in the Scout Law.
Scout sign. Audience, please rise. Please join me in this Scout law. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. You may be seated.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Troop 806 and 1806 and our new Eagle Scout families, thank you for coming here today and sharing this special occasion with us. You are dismissed.